Hello everyone, welcome back to Capital Markets Quickie. I'm your host, Endrit Cela, and this week is set to be a big one for markets. We have key policy meetings from the Federal Reserve, the Bank of England, and the Bank of Japan, plus the U.S. jobs report and major tech earnings. Let's dive in. First up, we have the Fed decision on Wednesday. Markets are currently pricing in an 88% chance of a September rate cut due to signs of cooling inflation and a slight uptick in the unemployment rate. Jerome Powell's statement will be in the spotlight as investors look for hints on the Fed's next moves. The Fed has kept its benchmark interest rate in the 5.25% to 5.50% range since last July and has hiked rates by 525 basis points since 2022. Powell has emphasized the need to see inflation moving sustainably towards the 2% target before cutting rates. Now let's talk about the non-farm payrolls report due on Friday. This report will be under heightened scrutiny following the Fed's statement. Economists expect the U.S. economy to have added 177,000 jobs in July, down from 206,000 in June. The unemployment rate, which has ticked higher in each of the past 3 months, is expected to hold steady at 4.1%. This data will be crucial in gauging whether the labor market is continuing to cool. Turning to big tech earnings this week, we'll hear from Microsoft on Tuesday, Meta on Wednesday, and Apple and Amazon on Thursday. Any disappointments could further unsettle markets already worried about stretched stock valuations. Last week, both the Standard & Poor's 500 and Nasdaq experienced their worst day since late 2022 due to concerns over tech stock valuations. Google parent Alphabet reported better than expected revenue, but investor concerns about rising AI infrastructure costs impacting margins led to a 5% drop in shares. The Bank of England meets on Thursday, and there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding this decision. Investors are divided on whether the BoE will deliver its first rate cut since 2020. Key BoE officials haven't spoken publicly for over 2 months due to rules in the lead-up to Britain's general election, leaving markets guessing. Last month, the BoE's Monetary Policy Committee voted 7-2 to keep rates on hold, but it was a close call for some policymakers. Over in Japan, the BoJ will conclude its policy meeting on Wednesday. There's growing speculation about a potential rate hike, especially after high-profile politicians hinted at the need for policy normalization. The impact of the weak yen on household and business spending is becoming a central issue, and some are predicting a July hike despite a recent rebound in the yen. However, concerns remain about whether the fragile economy can handle higher borrowing costs, especially with slowing U.S. growth. That's all for today's Capital Markets Quickie. From key central bank meetings and the U.S. jobs report to major tech earnings, this week is packed with events that could drive market movements. Stay tuned and stay informed. I'm Endrit Cela, wishing you a productive and insightful week ahead. Tune in tomorrow for more updates and market insights. Have a great week, everyone.